everybody, welcome to Orange Conference 2020. What we want to do is take you on behind the scenes and show you how we went from being a live event to completely streaming. Come on. So we had to make some decisions. How do we take what we do? We usually have an entire arena, how we do it online with a skeleton crew of hardly anybody there. So what we did, first of all, you gotta get a cool trailer. So let me show you what's in this trailer. Everybody, welcome to behind the scenes. All right, so usually this trailer can handle about 8 people, but because of COVID, we want to shrink down and be on a skeleton crew. So we only got 3 people on this side and 1 person on the other side. So this is Coco, Colette. She is producing the whole bit. She's kind of running everything from back here, making sure we're all on time and it's all producing. We have graphic stations in front of there. And all the way up in the front, we have our TV. And what kind of board are you on right there?
All right, so this is an HVS 2000 switcher made by 4A. It's a 6ME switcher. We have a 3ME panel. For the most part, I'm only using 2 MEs. I'm using 1 ME to kind of control a lot of effects, pips, graphics, and stuff like that. But what's really interesting is I am using 4 keys and 4 DVEs for all my effects up here. So I have 2 more assigned here. On the main bus itself, I have 4 additional keys. So I'm actually using a total of 10 keys and 8 DVEs just to kind of pull off the different things, because the main thing with a live broadcast is flexibility. And so what we've set up is the ability on a confidence monitor on each set, so the monitor follows the source. So if we change from one source to the next, the monitor follows, so we don't have to have someone routing that on the stage. For convenience, when we're trying to switch what's in a PIP, and we wanted to be flexible to the talent, because honestly, we don't know. Is the talent going to stand here? Is the talent going to stand here? Are they going to use this graphic? Are they going to use their phone? We don't know. So for that reason, we set it up where we can actually control what camera goes in the PIP with this little shot box kind of aux panel control here. We actually did a thing that was pretty interesting the other night where we had 4 contestants play with a host. So the host is on stage with 4 picture-in-pictures of the guests that they had, but the Zoom callers had to also receive a feed so that they could participate in the game, as well as the viewer at home watching this broadcast could see the live host. They could see just the picture-in-picture of the Zoom call itself, or they could see everyone all together.
So a lot of people online are trying to get Zoom onto a live stream.
Yeah.
How are you guys actually getting Zoom onto the live stream?
Zoom is a very big deal, and so we need to connect with people that cannot be here. And so with that, we had a computer set up a couple nights ago, and that was a Zoom call where we had 2 different feeds coming out of that computer. If you're familiar with Zoom, you know that Zoom has your picture-in-picture where you can see everyone participating. But additionally, when someone starts to talk, Zoom gives you that picture of just the individual talking. But we needed to capture both. So we used an additional display within the computer itself to send that to the switcher, and for the online audience, I could switch between the 4 box of the 4 individuals that were participating in the Zoom call. I could cut to the shot of the participant that was predominantly talking on the Zoom call. So it made it very interactive. Once we had it all set up, it was pretty easy to do.
So Lauren's actually running all the graphic playback. So we have 1 person running all these kind of graphics. So if you come back over to this side, you can kind of see she has 3 computers in front of her. Lauren, which computer is your favorite? All right. So Pro Presenter is on 2 computers here, and then on the laptop as well. And so because of that, we have one is going live and one's the backup. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how are you just triggering one, then triggering the next one?
Yes.
It's all just manual. So we call that a wet sync right there. Okay. And then Colette, how's the conference going so far?
Great.
Who's your favorite speaker?
Deep breath.
Deep breath.
Favorite speaker. Can I say that with nobody
Yeah,
doing that? I can say that.
Okay. Hey, were you doing great? We're gonna go inside and show a little more of the tech.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Thanks for
Have
everything.
fun.
Come on inside. All right, so let's head on inside. But before we go, I'm gonna kind of show you about these cables here. Hey, Mark. Hey, tell us about the cables. How's this going from? How do you connect everything?
Well, we simplified our setup and got everything down to a tack fiber and an Ethernet cable so that we could close the door at night, since we're not in a place that you can put cables through. So the only thing we have coming out the door is our power. We also have another tack fiber running around the other side of the building for another set, because we're shooting on 3 different sets here.
So the people who are less than nerds, this is genius right here, because usually you have tons of cable. What you guys got down to just a single tack and an Ethernet is brilliant, and then just 1 power. It's brilliant. That's right. Super smart. Engineering genius right here. Come on in. So this whole show comes down to just this 1 wire right here. Its cable breaks, show's over. Hey, Mark. So Mark kind of engineered a lot of how that truck works up there and how it connects into here. So Mark, why don't you show us how it connects on over?
Tack fiber comes to all these boxes here, and we're running 10 SDIs network. We're actually receiving our internet through this, our intercom running through this, as well as wireless tally. We're using the cameras provided by our client, and these units provide tally for those in the studio.
So Josh is the floor producer here. So we've got one producer out in the truck and one producer in here. They're actually talking to each other over a speaker, which is kind of funny. But Josh, what are you doing here for the conference?
Yeah, so floor producing. So basically, we have a producer in the truck who communicates back to me, and then I communicate with everyone in here on what's coming up next and all that. The best way that CMS has helped us do this is through their Matrix comm system. So I can talk directly to the producer, I can talk to Mark in engineering, I can talk with our video director, our graphics op, I can also talk to our other set speakers. So this has been essential for us to be able to communicate what's coming next and really make it easy.
So there's the main studio here, backup studio here, and we're gonna have a secondary studio upstairs. So let's go check that out. Do you see the size of this screen? This is just a plasma screen turned sideways. It's 75 inch, is that right? 75 inch plasma. This thing is all over the set. It's fantastic. It's a really cool little extra bonus right here.
So these are our sheds, is what they're called in the industry, where we're able to take our tack fiber in and convert them into SMPTE fiber in order to feed the cameras that we're using in the studio. With the cameras in the studio, we're also using it to get a confidence monitor out, so they have a multi-view display up here, and it's also how we're receiving the audio from Reggie's mic up here. This is where he did his live talk on the opening night.
3, 2. All right, so we're back in the back of the trailer now. This is where a lot of the engineering happens. We're back here with the guy who kind of programmed and engineered all this, Mark. So Mark, you would walk us through what all do you have set up back here?
Well, in order to run on a skeleton crew, I'm actually doing about 3 or 4 jobs back here that you would normally have on an event like this. So I'm actually mixing audio, and I'm using an X32 rack with a remote panel here just to control it. It's very simple, a couple playback videos, sources, and a couple microphones, nothing too crazy complicated. So I'm also multi-tracking the audio, so every mic, every playback source, and everything is being recorded straight to all the different embedded channels that we have, so the editors can do whatever they want with those mics and everything in post. The comm system is an Eclipse 32 system, so we have our software GUI here to do all the programming. We have interfaces with our audio system, interfaces with the switcher, so that we have a tremendous amount of flexibility to be able to use our comm panels for more than just communication. I'm also using my comm panel to control the Facebook stream. We've set up a GPI interface with our comm system so that I can switch between program, graphics, and then we can turn a key on to the Facebook stream. What we used that for was to get a countdown from the stage display on a ProPresenter so that the Facebook viewers knew when we were going back live. I also have a couple other things on our comm panel here. I've got it set up to where we can preview microphones on the set. We can also talk to the set. Got a couple set 1 and set 2 with some speakers we have set up in there.
And what's really cool is Michael is switching next to it. What if you need to take a break? Like I said, there's a skeleton crew. What if you need to take a break or he's taking a break? There's no backup, so they're covering for each other. And this is a remote panel. You're controlling the 4A in that other room from here.
Yeah, we're live all day, and so we don't really have any breaks. So if he needs to step away for a second, I have full control of his switcher here. The main, we would only do that during one of our playback videos, and we have a main and a backup rolling. And so if we need to switch to the backup and he's not at the switcher, I can do it from here. Same goes for the audio. If for some reason we need to switch to the backup audio, Michael has this interface back there on with him so that he can switch to the backup audio in the event that I step out.
Yeah, it's really important to have like your multi-screen so that you can kind of see everything. And I love this. This is what's actually going out live to the stream, and that's coming off of a computer. And where's that computer at?
Okay, so actually, I have 2 hardware encoders located in the back of this rack. One of them is for the mainstream and the other one is for Facebook. They're very simple units, and so I am the stream tech. And what's interesting is I was afraid I was going to forget.
This is genius.
I was afraid I was going to forget to turn the stream encoding on, so I actually put a smart plug on it. So on my phone, I can turn the stream on or off, but I used the scheduler in the smart plug to actually turn the stream on at 10:30 when it needed to go live, so I wouldn't forget.
So you can literally control all the streams from your phone if you had to.
I can turn them on and off from
so
my
funny.
phone.
Yeah, that's great.
The other thing I'm doing is I'm responsible for recording, and so we have connected the RS422 interface from each deck into our switcher, and I've created a macro that allows me to start recording all of the decks with one push of a button.
Nice.
So that they're all in synchronous and they're also time code jammed.
And then, so I see here you got your shaders control. Are these running thing here?
Yes, so we have the studio that we have upstairs. We pulled 2 of our broadcast cameras up there, and so I am also in charge of shading those and getting those painted in during the segments that we are using up there, which so far has just been Reggie's talk.
So you are social distancing. Are you guys wearing masks or anything to protect yourselves from?
When I go inside, I mean, I have one in case I need to wear it.
Because, you know, it's safety first when you're here. We want to make sure that we're social distancing, we're covering everything. We want to make sure that Mark is, you know, keep it healthy. So your mask is very important here. Do you want to say anything for the behind the scenes? We're doing a behind the scenes video. Do you want to say anything for the behind the scenes?
Thank you guys for doing everything you do. I think this is kind of like the first time in for an online conference that's totally for 3 days, and a lot of people worked hard to make this happen. Smarter than me.
All right. Hey, thanks, Reggie. You're doing awesome. It's been killer. All right. We'll see you in the chats. So we're going live. We're going live to. We're doing a live stream. We're also doing Facebook Live. All those computers are coming out of this one switch room right here. So everything's coming from all the computers to your switcher out to the live stream. What do you guys use for internet, or what is it just?
So we are using the in-house internet that was provided by the Phase shop, and we're actually bringing it back through the fiber that we ran in there. And so we have a pretty good pipe, and we also have a backup internet feed that it will switch over to in the event that the main goes out.
This whole thing is pretty much off-the-shelf technology. You're doing this. You're not like pulling in satellites or anything. It's
Nope.
just straight over the.
Correct, and we're streaming at 8.5 megabits per second at 1080p, 30 frames per second.
Okay, well, it looks fantastic. I mean, this all looks really good. You guys crushed it. It looks incredible. The
3
stream is
minutes
super
to
fun.
Kristen live.
And we have 3 minutes to go live, so I'm gonna let you guys get back to it. But thanks for you doing. And that's our behind the scenes. We'll see you guys next time.